What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, dude?
Man, you know, just living my best life, man. Trying to get like you when I grow up. You know, you super cool, man. The walking vibe himself, Mr. Deke. French for dude.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, it's definitely chill out these days.
Yes, indeed, man. It's that time of year, bro.
I'm just a chameleon. Just gotta adapt. Although I'm always pretty chill.
Hey, I can respect it, man. I can respect
the weather's adapting to me. Well,
oh, that's what's going on.
That's what's going on.
Okay,
it's my season.
It did get like super Hawk brick out here of lately. So yeah, that's about right.
It's awful.
Gotta love Pittsburgh though.
You do. Have we become the podcast where we're talking about the weather?
I feel like we do it a lot, low key. Yeah, I don't know. It's like we're gonna hit you with weather, Steelers, and some type of debate about something QB related. It just happens, and then we gonna get to a game or two here and there.
Like that. It's just funny. It's that cliche like weather talk. Like you don't have anything to say to the person you're with at the party, and you just go, "Oh man, weather's crazy." You know?
Right, and then we go here and rap for a whole hour.
It is weird how we start.
It's crazy every time, faithfully. Either weather or something with our clothes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our go-to.
I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm just more acknowledging it at this point.
It's only weird if you're uncomfortable with it. I'm comfortable with it, so we're good, man.
Yep, exactly.
So with that being said, something that we are very comfortable with is football.
Yes.
And in particular, these games this weekend. Dude, go ahead, man. You about to say something, man?
Uneventful.
Huh?
Uneventful. Just uneventful.
I felt like to start with the Titans and Chiefs game, it gave me like a glimpse of maybe this is going to be interesting. When they were up 10-0, had the big man touchdown, which I always love to see a big guy score. I was hyped. Derrick was running. Chiefs, like, they didn't want to tackle. We're like, oh, we've seen this story. We've seen it before. And then the inevitable happened. Patrick, Thanos, Mahomes. Yeah.
He's like that? No.
Dude, you seen it? I mean, how many times do we got to see it for it to surprise us now?
I'm not surprised. I know he's great. I definitely know he's great. But
better than Ben?
No.
I just wanted to hear you say it. Y'all heard him right there on the podcast. Just wanted to hear him say it.
He's not. And I mean, if we want to get into this type of stuff before we break it down, I do want to say this because one, NFL coverage, sports coverage becomes nauseating at this point because we already hit it a little bit last week because there was 4 teams, and that's all you're hearing about is those 4 teams.
True.
How's this team going to beat that team? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
This quarterback, that quarterback, this legacy. All right, I've heard enough, and now it's just Chiefs, 49ers. That's all we're going to be hearing.
Absolutely.
And you know what we're going to be.
They earned it, though.
They did, both.
Yeah.
They were probably the 2 best teams this year on both sides.
And funny to see how they did it in opposites again. And this right here, and we're going to get on that. We definitely going to talk about that.
Opposite ways, yes.
Yeah.
But now with Mahomes, you know what's happening.
Has he not earned it, though?
No. You know what's happening, though. It's going to be predicting the future.
But has he not earned it, though?
5 to 10 years, is he going to take over the league? No, he's earned it. He's earned it, and he's playing awesome.
I would say don't be a hater now.
I'm not.
All right.
I just want to say to Chiefs fans, Mahomes fans, it's not that simple. It's not because the same thing happened here in Pittsburgh.
Whoa. Wait a minute. I'm going to see what you mean.
What?
Please clarify what you mean by the same thing happened here in Pittsburgh.
Where, with Ben's career.
No. In Pittsburgh, the first 2 years of Ben starting.
No. Here's all I'm saying. We won 2 Super Bowls quick. Me and my boys were talking about after that second Super Bowl. Oh, man, we're going to be calling the trophy the Tomlin Lombardi trophy after it's all said and done.
They not even on that.
Huh?
They not even talking about that.
What do you mean?
Chiefs fans, NFL fans, they're not talking about like crazy like that right now. They just saying it's Mahomes taking over. Is it the Mahomes era now?
Yeah, but they said, this is my point then, too. They said the same thing about Rodgers, right?
Okay.
He only got 1 Super Bowl, and it's just not that easy because after this year, Mahomes is going to have a $40 million contract, and that's going to eat it up for the team. So he's still going to be doing crazy good. I just don't think the winning's going to be coming as easy as people think.
Hey, I don't even care about the winning. I'm talking about, is he about to take over as the best quarterback in the league? My answer is yes. I don't know what you're talking about right now. I don't care about the Chiefs as a team. I'm talking about Mahomes. Patrick Thanos Mahomes. That dude, yeah. Best in the league right now. Best in the league probably for the near, next 5-6 years, barring injury. That's what I'm on. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Let me hear your thoughts on that statement. Not team. I don't care about the Chiefs because the Chiefs, I look at it the same way you look at it. Once Mahomes get paid, Terry Hill gonna want to get paid. Kelsey gonna be up for another deal. Sammy Watkins, they gonna want to do something with him. Like, it's a lot going on. Tyrann Matthews on the back end. They gonna need to pay those guys. So I hope that falls because I need the Steelers to get back on that grind. All I'm saying is the Steelers could be on the grind and winning, but the best quarterback in the league with the Chiefs. That's all I'm saying. I know you don't want to hear that because you want to say that Ben is better than Patrick Mahomes. So say it again, because you already said it once. So just say it again.
I'll say it again. Yeah. He is. He is. Wait for the comeback here, and he's proven. And Mahomes still got a game to play.
All I'm simply saying
still got
is,
a game to play.
Regardless of if they win the championship or not, it's clear cut who the better quarterback is right now. That's all I'm saying. I don't care about the team.
I know who I'm taking.
Mahomes, you're right.
No way.
You're definitely right. But you already said you would take Ben over Brady. That's why I can't even have quarterback conversations with you, because we've already done this before.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. I think with this type of conversation, you're right. It's not gonna go anywhere really.
Yeah, because you're always gonna say Ben, and then we could put that on social media, and they could be like, "Oh yeah, Deke is crazy again." I don't even know why we even tried to have this conversation with Deke. So yeah, you're right. We not even going there, and that's what. Honestly, it was funny. I was sitting here as I was looking at our QBR video, right?
Yes.
And I said to myself, I was like, yo, out of all the people to argue about quarterbacks with, and in particular when it deals with Ben, why am I talking to Deke about that when we already know Deke said that Ben is the greatest quarterback of all time? So if you already feel that way, which a lot of people will probably disagree with you, I don't even know why I even went down there with you, man. I'm mad with myself for allowing myself to go down that rabbit hole with you trying to explain why Russell Wilson was better in certain elements of his game than Ben. And you did not want to hear any of that because you feel that Ben is the best ever over Brady, over Montana, over Mahomes right now. I mean, so yeah, I can
break it down player by player if you want.
It's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool. I don't even want you to do that to yourself. All right. I don't want you to do that to yourself. I value you. Okay. And if you get out here and you start talking like that, they will be looking at you like, yo, he really crazy. And I don't want that.
Dude. It's fine. I don't care.
Hey, man. I saw the QBR stuff. It's early right now, but people are like, bro, they ain't even hearing that QBR. They not.
Well, that's what I was saying in the Q. Well, I don't know. It was pretty mixed in terms of Ben versus Russ.
No. I said the QBR debate.
The QBR one.
In terms of how you rank it. Right. And in terms of the Ben debate.
I don't think they know what I'm talking about, though. They think I'm saying rating.
I don't either. You said QBR. Yeah. I'm not a QBR guy.
I know. Yeah. I told you this, though. I'm not necessarily a QBR guy either.
You only said when it favors you. Because then they start saying Dak Prescott is up there in QBR. I had no clue because I hate QBR for that reason. Like, I don't want to hear that. Now you saying Dak and Ben in the same category?
No.
According to your QBR debate?
I said QBR is a stat. It tells some of the story.
Yeah.
I like it a little more than I think the other metrics. But
only in this situation, though.
Maybe. But if you add all the other elements that I mentioned last time, you go wins, QBR, the raw stats, it factor, clutch.
Sounds like a bunch of fairy dust and pixie sticks.
You throw it all in and you have your opinion. That's
hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. Like I said, I ain't going to QB debate with you.
No, that's fine. I'm not trying to do that either. Yeah. I am. What was you were talking about Mahomes?
Yes,
and
how he's the best right now, and how you said that Ben is the best right now.
All I want to say about the Mahomes thing, and he is awesome. He's great. I said he's the number one QB. I said he's the number one QB in these playoffs.
No, I'm saying in the league right now, Ben included.
I'm talking playoffs.
No, we're talking Ben included in the league right now.
I'm trying to look that far down.
Why not? No, we can say over the past 2 years. What are you saying?
Well, I already did. I told you
exactly. The proof's in the pudding.
He's had better weapons and system, more opportunities.
Better weapons and system. What are you saying? Who did Ben? Think about Ben last year and think about Mahomes last year. Mahomes' first year as the starter was last year, right?
He had a nice year last year. Let's just say that.
A nice year, record-breaking year, MVP year. What? We're not doing this. We're not doing it.
We're not doing this. I don't want to.
Because you tripping.
I'm not.
Listen, you my dog, but you tripping. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying.
He had a nice year.
A nice year. It's what it been have.
He had a really good, really, really nice year. I'm not going to do that because
stop it.
I'm not gonna do that. He had a better season than Ben statistically.
Okay, so is it safe to say that Mahomes was the better quarterback last season than Ben?
Nah, because
you just said he had a better year statistically, but you won't say that he was the better quarterback last year.
I told you I rank my QBs. What quarterback do you want? Fourth quarter. What
you
quarterback?
See what Mahomes does?
I'm seeing it, and he's up there. So
wow. I
got nothing.
But you said that you would take Ben over Brady anyways, right?
I would. Yes.
I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it.
Yeah.
The GOAT. That's how they talk about him, as the GOAT.
That's fine. There's a lot of factors that played into his success.
Whatever you say.
But I'm not using that to knock him. I'm using it for my debates.
That's
all,
man. It's cool.
Because I like Brady. I like Brady.
People know a hater when they hear a hater. All right, so we ain't tripping.
I'm not a hater though.
But you are. You're not a realist. Oh, and speaking of, when you were talking about the Ben and Russ debate, so I just wanted to put this in context for you, right?
Okay.
Remember, this is a Steeler market that we're in, correct?
Yes.
So what? I know for you, probably 100% of your fans, or we'll say 90% of the fans that you have are Steeler fans, right?
Yeah.
I'll say about 80% probably 70% of my fans are Steeler fans, right? So the fact that it was still split, like you said, right? Because we both agreed it was pretty even.
Split, yes.
That says a lot in a Steeler market. That's all I'm saying, man. I think if we ask that question in the Seattle market, I don't think it's close. Just saying. It's cool, but I ain't tripping, man.
They're biased. That's it. They got to get their head out of the clouds.
Wow, it's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black in this building today, baby. I love it.
I've done that a couple of times.
I love it. but back to Mahomes and this.
I don't want to be spreading hate. I don't.
It's all good.
I'm not, because I like Mahomes. He's great. We've seen him. He's doing good things.
He's average. I heard you. It's
no. He's great.
No, because if Ben, we saw Ben last year, so yeah. If Ben is better than Mahomes,
dude.
You just said you don't like to be biased.
I'm a Steeler guy, man. Come on.
All I'm saying, you could be biased,
and that's the QB I'm taking. Real, I just told you his season statistically was better than Ben.
It's cool, man. Listen, we're not going there. All right, we're not going.
No, we're not going. We're not because.
But like I said, with this Chiefs and Titans game, like I said, at the beginning of it did give us a little bit, right?
It did definitely, and I think it came down to. I mean, Henry had a good, first half, first quarter, et cetera, et cetera.
Even I was surprised. I thought Tannehill was actually playing a lot better than a lot of people were expecting from him.
Yes, exactly. And then it just felt like, actually, it was the Titans' defense that let him down, in my opinion, because that's the thing these past 2 weeks in the playoffs that obviously Henry has had his run in the regular season and early on in the playoffs, and Tannehill's been kind of doing the same thing this whole time, even though it's just the volume is less.
Right.
He's making the big throw, the long throw when it's needed. And the defense has just been crazy, and that's been the X factor.
Out of their mind.
And they were awful. I don't know. It's got to be due to Mahomes and the Chiefs' weapons because it seemed like they were just sitting back in zone cover, just letting Mahomes pick them apart.
Right, which you can't do.
He had all the time in the world too. Yeah. Even if they did get a little pressure on him, he was able to maneuver.
Well, that was the thing that surprised me because the first two games versus the Patriots and the Ravens, we talked about how man, these guys got passers. Like, where did these guys come from?
Yeah.
And then versus the Chiefs, it was just non-existent. Mahomes was back there just chilling, and like I said, just picking them apart. It was crazy to me to see how just bad that defense looked in that regard. It's almost like, oh, that's the defense we thought was going to show up versus the Patriots or versus the Ravens, and why we were picking the Patriots and the Ravens to beat them because of that. And dropped the ball in that regard.
Well, and they were playing with them, like we were saying, the whole first and second quarter, the first half. Yeah. And then second half.
Well, I don't even want to say the whole first half because it was like that midway point of the second is when things started to really shift.
Yeah, no, but the score was still there.
No, they was, but they ended up. The Chiefs ended up having the lead going into halftime.
They did, but that's what happened. As soon as they scored in that second half, it was like, man, I do not see this happening. Even though they did eventually end up going up another touchdown, and then the Titans had to resort to fake punts and stuff.
Even though it was dope though.
I mean, come on, I don't like that.
You don't like special teams. That's why you're a hater. I love it.
Dude, it was on their 20. Like, give me a break.
It was a big time play, and they got it.
It worked, yeah, but...
So why are you mad?
I don't really care about it. The game was over. You're not winning.
They had a shot. If they go down there and score and they get the ball back on the onside kick, they were right in it.
They weren't winning.
All I'm saying is they were in it.
I just knew they weren't winning. That's
we both knew they weren't going to win, but I'm saying, they made it interesting.
stop doing the false hope stuff. That's all I'm saying to their coaching.
So what, you're supposed to just quit on the game?
Basically.
See, that's the fan mentality right there. Thank you. You tripping.
They have Tannehill. They're not going to win. They weren't going to win at that
They win
point.
the AFC Championship game with Tannehill because of Tannehill. What are you saying?
Not because of Tannehill. Because
They don't make the playoffs if Tannehill doesn't become the starter.
I agree with you.
So how did they get to the AFC Championship game if it's not because of Tannehill?
He doesn't have that comeback ability.
Bro, what are you talking about?
You know in Madden where they have...
We're not talking video games. We're talking real life.
I'm just saying in Madden they have...
I don't know that. No. I don't know none of that.
Each player...
I don't know none of that,
the
man.
superstar players, they give them like 2 or 3 like power boosts in a sense. And they'll say like with Juju, like on this last Madden, it said like it was an icon and what was it? Traffic catches.
So no disrespect to Juju, but how'd that icon work this season?
I don't know, but that is the one I remember. And obviously like Mahomes, they got one. It's like throw on the run, but clutch factor, fourth quarter for some people. I don't know if that's an icon, but
you already talked about how you don't even like the Madden ratings. We talked about that, right? Because of how they disrespect your boy Ben.
I'm just saying Tannehill doesn't have the comeback icon or
all I'm saying
clutch factor
is if they
icon.
disrespected Ben and you said Ben, I mean, we both can agree Ben is a dope quarterback, but they disrespected him. What was his rating? Like a 70-something, right?
Well, that was after the offseason.
Okay, but either way, they have him as like a 70-something, right?
81 right now, but yeah, even that is just
exactly.
absurd. Yes.
So for me, I don't really care what any Madden experts have to say about what Tannehill can do because I know what I've seen in Tannehill. That's all I'm saying,
I'm
man.
telling you that.
I'm definitely not listening to you then, man. But man, for me, the thing that was crazy was this. Everything was going right for them, though, to start the game off in terms of time possession. I mean, we kind of talked about that on the last podcast, saying that if the Titans were going to win, it would have to be them taking a ton of time, eating up the clock, running the ball, which they were doing. At one point, they had like 9 minutes of total possession versus like the Chiefs having 3 minutes of total possession or time of possession, excuse me. And yeah, the defense, bro.
No, and the Chiefs defense.
They stepped up. Tyrann Matthews, the pass rush, Frank Clark. I don't even know how to say the one dude's name. That dude.
Who?
They got one of the D linemen. They got like crazy like last name. I don't know how to say it, but he was playing well too.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
But either way, they stopped him. And you sent me a text. I don't know if it was a tweet or not, but it was Frank Clark before the game saying, I mean, everyone's seen it, that Derrick Henry, he's easy to tackle.
Yeah.
We're going to bring him down. He's not going to be a problem. And you even mentioned on the last podcast, Tyreek Hill saying that we're unguardable. This offense can't be stopped. And you're asking me, is this cocky?
Yeah.
And they're proving it's not because they're delivering on it.
So as long as you win, it's not cocky. That's what you're telling me now.
I think so, dude.
That's not how it works, bro. It's still cocky. Cocky is cocky. It's just you won, so you could back up what you're saying. But it's still cocky, bro.
Here's my question, though. Do you have a problem with it?
I never care. You know who had the attitude. Remember you said, man, I didn't like when the Ravens was doing all the big trust and all that, the Mark Ingram doing the you know what I'm saying? It's Lamar Jackson. You had the issue with that. Then when the Titans dude came in and did it, you had the issue with that. I don't care about none of that.
Kirk Cousins, too.
Yeah, I don't care about none of it, man. Ball.
Well,
if you can ball, you can ball.
I just feel like you have to be able to back it up. And I
don't care if you back it up or not. Just say what you want to say, man. Live your life. Be you. Don't conform. You trying to put a man in a box. You don't even want to be in the box, but you want people to be in the box right now. Hey guys, win, be humble, don't say anything.
I'm getting more and more exposed.
That's all I'm saying, man. You putting people in the box. You the man. What's talking about? Yo, don't put me in a box, man.
I just know the game. I know football. I know history, and I know the ebbs and the flows. And those aren't the right times to be doing that.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. Ali did it. It worked for him.
Yeah, but
Conor McGregor would do it. It worked for him. Floyd Mayweather would do it. It worked for him.
Dude,
what you saying, man?
This is what I'm saying. Those guys haven't proven to be on a Mahomes type of level. Frank Clark.
You just said
Tyreek
Mahomes isn't even on the Mahomes type of level you putting him on.
No, he's great. I told you he's the best QB in these playoffs. I told you. And he's showing up.
Hey, man. So best QB in the playoffs. Probably best QB in the league right now.
I think there is. Well, I mean, there's a guy that's injured right now, not in the playoffs. So
I don't care who he is.
But with all this, I think there is like a subjective view that can be had. Because I think that's how we are as humans. So,
word, interesting. Okay,
I think you can't pick and choose here and there as long as you have good reasoning for it.
Hey, whatever you say, man. But so that game was that. Actually, what did they do after that game? Oh, Derrick Henry. No, not Derrick Henry. Tannehill says he don't know if his future is going to be in Tennessee no more now because of how that game played out too.
So what are you asking me? If I'm the Titans, do I resign him?
Yeah, what you think? Titans, if you going, are you going Tannehill, Derrick Henry, or Mariota? All three of those dudes got to get.
Definitely, you're letting Mariota go.
Okay.
I don't know their cap situation. Henry's probably going to demand something like Bell then, right? Like 10, 11 million.
You got to assume that, right?
He doesn't have that pass catching. Like that was always part of Bell's argument.
But I felt like in terms of being the pure runner, he is more dominant in that regard.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm assuming it's going to be double digits.
Yeah.
Is what he's going to be trying to get because that's what Elliott got.
I feel like, yeah, for him, you got to make that argument. And he's only, 26 years old, never had any major injuries.
No.
So, yeah.
So the running back's a tough position. I feel like they have to bring him back.
Yeah, I always laugh because people say running backs grow on trees. That's the argument they always make. But then we could point to different teams that have struggled with running backs and not having the productivity they need from that room.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks if they're being smart, that you just let everyone walk and you just kind of rebuild in a way.
You playing Madden again, huh?
No, I just feel like this is
so you're gonna let
one and done year for them.
And Derrick Henry walk. They were in the playoffs. What was it, a year ago?
No, I'm saying emotionally, I don't think I would. I would definitely try to re-sign Henry. It depends on what Tannehill's gonna want too. I mean, I think he's replaceable. I definitely do. I don't know who
would you let Tannehill and Mariota walk?
Yeah, but I don't know who you're replacing them with.
Yeah, you are wilding out.
If you're really playing Madden, then you're trying. I think a team should be trying to bring in Cam Newton. I think Titans would be the good candidate.
Is he healthy? So you're gonna let two healthy quarterbacks go? That especially one that's led you to the AFC Championship game for a quarterback that you don't know if he's healthy or not.
Dude, he's definitely healthy.
They said that last year too.
This has been a while.
They said it last year. You saw that worked out. They said it the year before that. You saw that worked out. That's risky business.
Is it his vegan diet that's killing him?
I don't care what it is. You're asking a lot. For me, I'm looking at it like this, man. I'm talking to Derrick. I got to get that deal done. If the number is too high, I franchise him.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Franchise him.
Just franchise him. Yes.
But then after that, Tannehill, I'm coming to him second. He gets whatever is left over in that conversation. Mariota walks.
How much though?
What is the thing?
Are you willing to pay him $25 million?
No. He's not going to get $25 million. But the thing is this: Derrick Henry is priority number one. After I get Derrick Henry secured, now I'm going to talk to Tannehill and see what he's trying to do from a number standpoint. I'm not franchising Tannehill. That's not happening.
I don't think you can. If you franchise one, you can't.
No, you can't franchise both. But I'm saying, like, if I had to pick and choose, worst case, I franchise Derrick Henry, Tannehill walks. But what I'm saying is this: Tannehill understands that his market is not the $25 to $30 million market.
What did Foles get though? Foles got a real nice deal.
Foles is better than Tannehill. What are we talking about here? Foles was at the perfect storm coming off a Super Bowl MVP where he was balling the whole playoffs. Not 2 games where he has single-digit completions and then he has 1 game where he looks halfway decent and then you're talking about, well, look at the regular season. Let's pay him like that. No, Foles balled out. Tannehill was never in the Foles conversation. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, I think right now people would.
I don't think they will.
Just with how he performed.
I don't think they will.
They just put in Minshew over him.
I don't think they will. That's all I'm saying, man.
No, I don't think they should either, but...
I'm talking about Tannehill, right?
Yeah.
I don't see Tannehill getting paid like that.
What's he going to get? 18 million? 19?
Low 20s at best. Low 20s.
But I wouldn't even pay that if I was the Titans.
I agree with you.
I wouldn't do that. But that's why I'm saying if you can get Cam, I think he's at like 18 or 19 right now, and he's 1 year left.
Why you want to pay Cam that when you don't know if Cam is going to be able to play? Do you realize if you pay him that money and he can't play, what it does to your team? Like, that's what you're not understanding, man. You don't pay injured guys that much money,
draft
man.
a QB then.
Dude, they're picking at the end of the draft.
Yeah.
So what you saying, man? You trying to, like, destroy your franchise. You know, you a double agent. That's what you are. Because if this was the Steelers, you wouldn't be talking like that at all.
No, dude.
Exactly. Well, because the Titans, you're like, yo, how could we get them to fall down a little bit?
There's only certain QBs that you should be paying like that.
It's a QB world, man. QBs get paid, bro. What you saying?
We talked about this a little bit with Dak, dude. Like, I don't know what he's gonna end up getting paid, but I think you could have replaced Dak's production with a Tannehill this year.
I don't know, man.
I'm saying at a way cheaper rate.
Dak's still on his rookie deal right now.
No, I know, but he's trying to get that $30 million, or at least maybe 35,
Yeah,
40.
he wants 30. They said he turned down 30 because he wants 35.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But all I'm saying is Dak has been a lot more consistent and productive than Tannehill. Longevity.
Because I know Jimmy G does have a pretty decent contract, but it's either you have the guy like Mahomes, Rodgers, Big Ben making that money, or you got the dude on the rookie deal, or like Tannehill's on a cheap deal with the Titans, and you got a sick defense and just sick players around him, running back. Yeah. So that's the way you do it. I feel like that money might be going too much to Tannehill and Henry then.
Oh, man. I feel like you got to have a quarterback. A guy that's going to be healthy, a guy that's out there. You don't pay for a hope and a prayer. That's all I'm saying, man.
Well, you got Bridgewater out there still.
Okay, but Bridgewater's going to command way more than that.
You think?
What? Absolutely. Bridgewater's going to get 25.
You think?
Yes, indeed.
Man.
Bridgewater was already in line to get that before he signed to go to the Saints.
All right, actually, here's a good one. Here's a good one to bring up. If I was the Titans, I'd bring in Phillip Rivers.
Okay.
Over Tannehill on, 2 years.
But why are you bringing in Phillip Rivers if we already talked about how bad he played this year, how he declined drastically. Tannehill was a better quarterback this year than Phillip Rivers.
I would still take Rivers going forward.
Because you're going for a name. What about Tannehill? I mean, what about Phillip Rivers this season makes you think that you would want him over what Tannehill did from a productivity standpoint? That's all I'm asking.
It's a combination of money, and I don't think Tannehill's that good.
You ain't watched Tannehill, and you definitely ain't watched Phillip Rivers, because Tannehill played way better than Phillip Rivers this year. It wasn't even close, bro.
I mean, we just saw the playoffs though with Tannehill.
Exactly. He looked good.
I mean,
he look good.
Not on this game.
He was still balling in this game. What are you talking about?
He was all right, man. He was all right, but when
you were hating. You were hating.
I am a hater.
You are a hater, and you are enamored with the name. You heard Phillip Rivers' name, like, dude, Phillip is trash right now, man.
In terms of money and
like it's less about the money. You can't win Super Bowls going cheap, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I just think he might have some left in the tank if he's put in that type of situation.
You're thinking and hoping and wishing. That's how you get beat.
But I still think you're hoping and wishing with Tannehill that he's going to.
You have a larger sample size with Tannehill, and he's been successful before.
I would trust Rivers over Tannehill.
Because you're going off of a name. That's all I'm saying, man.
I might be, but I'm good with that. I might be, but I'm good with that.
Hey, I'm not good with that. I'm going off of what I've seen, productivity proven right now.
Yeah, but there's some times, dude, where people do like the little. I mean, Nick Foles is a good example.
Whatever you say, man.
Where you pay this dude and he's just not what
whatever
you thought.
You say, man.
The bigger sample size is going back to his rookie year with Miami. He hasn't done crap.
Say, man. Whatever you say. Whatever you say.
He had a good run. He ate his
all
lucky charms for breakfast.
It was plenty of people that had to deal with Miami's situation. We all see how toxic that was.
Yes.
People in Pittsburgh have benefited directly from leaving a toxic Miami situation.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying, man.
Yes.
I've seen Tannehill multiple times. I've seen him in a good situation in Tennessee. He fits what they're doing. But hey, man, Tom Brady might be going down there.
Tennessee?
Yeah, they say.
I mean,
no, he said he wants to play with Vrabel. That's his guy.
Now the thing is money again, because he's going to be commanding a lot of money. I don't know if
you don't know what he's asking for though.
That's the rumors that he wants top dollar because
you don't know that, man.
Huh?
You don't know that.
I don't know that for
Can't believe the rumors, baby.
Well, I mean that goes along the lines with the Rivers thing. Then I would rather have Brady than Tannehill.
Yeah, I would too. You don't want Brady in Tennessee. You want them winning.
What? Dude, what was that?
You would have won him there.
You're warning me.
I'm just saying you would have won him down there.
I don't want him there. You're saying as like a general warning.
Yeah, we don't want him in Tennessee. Go NFC. Get him out of here.
I would like him out of here. I would prefer him over at the Cowboys.
Yeah, that would be nice. Dallas. They got some weapons on there. You don't want him in Dallas. Send him to Chicago.
Where do you want him? Raiders are getting some buzz right now.
Yeah, send him somewhere like that. Yeah,
that's AFC though.
No, but they ain't got the same weapons the Cowboys have, or the same weapons the Titans have.
I mean, I have this whole theory, but AB got to shut his mouth because I think that's going to be a package deal. But
good luck.
Exactly. He just won't stop. He won't stop.
Yeah, good luck. That's all I'm saying with that. Hey man, you know what? You could take Phillip Rivers, AB, and whoever else you would have taken this Magic Madden world that you live in, put them all on the same team. Hope for the best, baby.
Phillip Rivers, man. Yeah, I'm just saying. End of the day, dude, I'm taking Rivers over Tannehill next year. That's all.
Okay.
For two reasons. I just think he's going to I think he's going to play better. It's just predicting. I think he's going to play better. I know more about Phillip Rivers. Yeah, he's a little older, but Tannehill's just not going to do consecutive years like that. And the money.
Whatever you say, bro.
Depending on what Rivers wants. I don't know that for a fact either.
Whatever you say, man. Whatever you say.
I'm just dropping it to you.
Hey, Lord,
next year when Tannehill is, you'll see.
So what was Phillip Rivers then?
I'm not watching Rivers, dude.
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you, man.
I don't gotta watch him.
Exactly, because it's bad. They were having a conversation: is he gonna retire? Or are they gonna bench him and let Tyrod Taylor start the last couple of games of the year? That's the conversation that was going on with the Chargers this year, because that's how bad Phillip was playing. But it's cool. I would take Tyrod Taylor over Phillip Rivers right now. That's all I'm saying, man.
Over Tannehill.
That's over Phillip Rivers.
Oh man, yeah, we're just on a different wavelength.
Yeah, because I was watching him. That's all I'm saying, man.
I feel bad for you then.
Hey, exactly. It was rough. It was real bad. Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't have the I ain't got no weapons argument because he has weapons out there. Yeah.
Keenan Allen. That's about. I mean, the two running backs.
Bro, so you just gonna forget about the other receiver out there?
Who's actually the other receiver? I know tight end Hunter Henry's decent.
I'll pull it up for you, bro.
Who's the other receiver? You got to pull it up. Exactly.
I got you.
You got to pull.
No. The reason I'm gonna pull it up for you is because I like to just make it simple. I don't want to mix nobody's name up. I like to keep it real simple.
So you're saying he had good numbers?
I'm saying let's keep it real simple for you, man. I ain't tripping.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all about doing my due diligence.
That's fine. Well, we figured out who it was.
Yes, we did. Mike Williams. That's the other name.
I'm an idiot because he was on my fantasy team.
And Michael Ball, because I had Keenan Allen.
He can ball. I agree. So
he had weapons. That's all I'm saying.
He did have weapons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those guys put up decent numbers.
It wasn't because of him.
It's garbage time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You weren't watching it. It was bad.
I'm not watching it.
It was really bad.
Okay.
Or no. The thing that killed me, I think it was it would have been a pass play.
You don't think he's depressed out there?
No. What? Why would he be depressed?
Dude, it's desolate in terms of fans. I mean, it's an away game every time.
I don't care about none of that. You're a professional, are you not?
You are, but...
So what you saying there?
I mean, I think he's just pissed off about the whole situation.
Okay, so you going to play bad?
I think he'll be rejuvenated. It just plays into what I'm saying. Him over Tannehill.
Whatever you say. All I'm saying is, it was a play. This is to let you know garbage time. I didn't even want to call this garbage time because I don't even think this was garbage time. He had a 3-yard pass turn into a 70-yard touchdown. It was a 3-yard, like, just not even a slant. It was almost like a dump pass to either, I want to say it was to Mike. It was to Mike Williams. He makes a dude miss and like just to the crib. And Phillips out there wolfing, beating his chest. I'm like, bro, you threw it. It was a 3-yard pass, but it goes down a 70-yard touchdown. That's all I'm saying, man.
In terms of...
And it was a lot of that going on.
This is more of a larger conversation, and this is more of something I want to ask you. But no, this is actually like serious. Mm-hmm. How do you see the decline whenever you're watching tape?
Well, first off, I look at the power in their throws. Like if they're losing that pop, they're not. Remember we talk about the deep out, right? The deep out or some of the slants, some of the plays where they got to zip that ball in. It's a cover 3 where you got underneath coverage, guy sitting on top. You got to make that fire in terms of going over the underneath defender, shallower than the deep defender, but it has to have that pop and that zip on it. If I'm not seeing that, that's the first thing. Then after that, I'm starting to look at the accuracy. Okay, are they putting a lot of passes behind guys, low, too high? Like, what is it looking like? His release is already funky, so that changes how you view him anyways, because it's not the traditional, drop back over the or hand over the ear release. He's more sidearm.
Brady says it's like a C.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It should be right by your ear, like wherever your ear is at when you're releasing out of it. That's where it needs to be at. And then everybody has a different follow through on it. But with him, he always has a sidearm throw. So just seeing, okay, when he's making his throws, is he just straight arming it, or is he like throwing his body into it? And what I mean by throwing your body is like you see a little kid try to shoot a basketball, right? They can't get a good form because they're not strong enough to shoot it. So they got to like throw their whole body into the shot. Mm-hmm. Well, when you watch him throw the ball now, he's throwing his whole body into it because his arm is getting weaker and weaker and it's making him less accurate. Those are some of the things that I see when I talk about a guy declining. I'm like, I don't care what situation you put him in. He can't make that throw right now. Like, it's different. If this was 3 years ago, he was still making that throw. Even 2 years ago, he was making that throw. But we talk about how the decline happened so fast for him and Eli, which is why people are concerned about Ben, because they're like, man, those two dudes in the same class, and they just dropped off drastically. So is Ben next? Ben's coming off a major injury. You just don't know. I know you want to act like, oh, it's impossible to say, but it's real life, because they were saying the same thing about Phillip Rivers. Oh, man, he's good, man. He's going to come back and lead those guys to the AFC Championship game. Remember, they were the favorites coming out.
They were.
Yeah, but it happens fast. That's all I'm saying, man. Father Time is undefeated. So when I look at Phillip, those are the things that I see. And those are the reasons why I say, man, Tannehill still has a very lively arm. It has pop. He can make the throws. And he also has the running ability, being a former college wide receiver. He could do those things. You see it. For me, I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to roll with Tannehill, because I know this is still good. That arm is still good. Phillip, you hate to see it. It's like when you see that boxer that you love growing up and he gets old. First time you see him get old, you're like, oh, man, this don't look so good right now. That's what it's looking like right now.
It's hard for me.
Yeah, yeah, man.
This
is your
guys,
era of quarterbers. Yeah,
I know
these are your
it
guys,
is.
man.
This is my first time like going through this. Like I was mentioning to you last time, Rodgers getting some gray hair on his beard. Yeah. It's just
because even with Phillip Rivers, like, dude, like, regardless if you were a Chargers fan or not, you still like, yo, Phillip is nice.
These were my quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Brady, Breeze. I mean, Manning's obviously gone,
Right.
but that was just one hit.
Yeah.
So Brady, Breeze, you still have Ben, Rodgers, and then like you said, Rivers.
Yeah.
And what else is there after that?
Yeah.
Eli, obviously, but
Eli was always like second tier.
I never considered him like any of those QBs anyway. So.
I feel like they gassed him because of the name and then because he beat Brady in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, that was the big thing.
Yeah, like his decline wasn't even. I was just thinking to myself, man, he's been throwing picks like out of nowhere and not really performing like that in regular season for a long time.
Picks don't matter. That what you told me.
Nah, dude. I'm not getting into that.
But yeah,
he wasn't winning.
That's man. But he got 2 Super Bowls.
I know, but literally every other season outside of those Super Bowls,
hey man, clutch. He does when it matters.
He was clutch. I'm not gonna lie. He did show up in those games, somewhat. Little luck, but whatever.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is, man.
All right, so we good on
that was that game. So now we got San Fran and Green Bay. How'd you feel about that game?
Dude, San Fran just wanted it. It was disappointing because the whole conversation was obviously the 49ers are the better team, the better defense, but the Packers have Rodgers, you know, and
we thought their defense had been rejuvenated.
They were terrible.
Bro, they couldn't stop the run.
They were terrible.
I mean, the fact that they lost a game with a quarterback throwing 8 passes, completing 6 of them. That's insane. The dude, I mean, Raheem Mostert had 160 yards and 3 touchdowns before that half. Like, bro, that's insane. Ended up with 220 on the ground, 4 touchdowns, average 7.6 per carry. That's what? That's nuts. Yeah. That's like some high school stats right there, man.
Yep. And not only was he good, but I know you've mentioned this to me before in terms of watching tape, just kind of what to look for just to get a better analysis. Dude, you could see the line being pushed back.
Yes.
Back.
The Niners were winning the line of scrimmage. It was bad.
Because obviously he's got the speed and then he's got the moves, the juke moves and everything, and he was balling, but like, I mean,
you get him to the second level before he gets touched. It's like, man, what do you expect? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but he definitely balled out. I was very disappointed with the Packers defense because offensively, the Packers were still doing some things.
Turnovers killed them.
Yeah, but and the thing was this, it was just like their turnovers and then them not being able to stop the run, them not being able to get a timely stop. Like we talk about the Steelers sometimes, right? Where we might have a turnover on offense, but we know the defense is going to get a stop or a 3 and out, so it balances each other out. The Packers never gave them that balance back in terms of their defense. It was, something bad happens on offense, something worse happens on defense.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was, they gashed them. They really gashed them. And
shout out to Devontae Adams, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had numbers.
He did. Yes. Garbage time, I guess you could say. But
well, because the thing that was funny, I was like, if you looked on paper at Aaron Rodgers' numbers, like he had the pick in the first half and then he ended it with the one to Sherman, but his numbers, I mean, he only had like 3 incompletions for like a while. It was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just felt lackadaisical. I don't know if it was mainly him, but obviously the defense was terrible. But they're just
not once did I ever feel like it was going like they had a chance.
No, like I don't know, like take some shots or something.
Yeah,
I know you obviously were when you're down 27-0, but it felt like where were those? You know, in those first few drives. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, it could go a missed tackle here, missed tackle there because there were some checkdowns, and you're hoping that happens. But like you said, you didn't get any support from the defense at all. the part that did suck was the turnovers, because even though you're doing the turnover on downs and punting it, just to have the turnovers like that, especially when you're driving. I remember specifically the one play, I think it was the fumble, right?
Yeah,
where he dropped the snap. They were driving. They were down on like the 20 or 30.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, like I said at the beginning, just uneventful.
Yeah, that game was trash. Like I definitely enjoyed. I don't know, because I feel like offensively Mahomes was more exciting with what he was doing than the Niners offense and what they were doing. Like I never was like, oh, this is cool. It was just like, Packers defense, y'all are trash right now. Like I don't know what's going on with y'all. Whereas like Mahomes was like, yo, this is like, he's gifted. He's in a whole nother league.
He was playing good, dude. He was definitely playing good. But what's interesting to me is, I think you touched on it a little bit at the beginning, is the completely different styles of these two teams that are going to be playing. Now, I mean, the 8 passes, right?
8 passes, 6 completions, 8 passes.
And then Tannehill was doing that the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I don't know if we would have ever thought this would be the case like 5 years ago, just with how the league was turning, obviously becoming more passer friendly. But they say about things in life, usually things start to flip on themselves whenever you go too far one way. Then what is the advantage? Going the opposite way, which is going back to the running game.
Absolutely. And then for the Niners, they have a stable of running backs that are very capable. I mean, it's crazy. We talk about Raheem Mostert as like their guy right now. This dude has been released, I think it's 6 times. Like, that's nuts. They still got Tevin Coleman. Like, we named the running backs last week or whatever. It's just like, dude, they got weapons. And then the fact that Deebo Samuel had, 1 reception and 1 rushing attempt, like, that's nuts. And they still bought up Emmanuel Sanders, another one. Like, they have guys.
Yeah, George Kittle.
Yeah, right. I mean, it got to the point where they were showing George Kittle blocking highlights. Like, it's crazy. But, I mean, he loved it, though. He's all for it.
Now, some idiot said this on TV, comparing the Titans offense to the 49ers offense. I don't see how it's similar. Obviously, they run a lot, but that's
about the only thing.
The 49ers is so much more horizontal. And
misdirection.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, because we talked about that when the Steelers played them earlier, how they have the West Coast style offense, a lot of misdirection, keep you off balance, and they got just some speedy backs to like really make those plays pop.
Well, and that's what I think both of us would have liked to see more with the Steelers, at least whenever Mason was in. We did a little bit with the Bengals. Obviously, he got hurt, and there was crazy ups and downs. Yeah. But I don't think we had that consistency, especially in terms of running backs with that speed. Yeah. And then I don't think Washington or Johnson really came into their own like that with Debo and Sanders.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Yeah, man.
What I like about Jimmy G though, with the whole 8 passes versus Tannehill, I feel like Jimmy G like jokes about it and he's like cool with it, and it's like, man, it's whatever, man.
You just like Jimmy G because his name.
Tannehill, I don't even think anyone could ask him that question, really.
It's because it's a name. You're kind of like those guys who have to just wear like designer, even though it's ugly. It's like, oh, this Balenciaga though. It's like, but it's ugly though. Tannehill was balling this year, man. You don't give Tannehill no love because you're like, oh, that's just Tannehill. But it's Jimmy G. Jimmy G, 8 passes, 6 completions is fire. I rock with that. Like, dude, stop it, man.
He's chill about it.
Stop it. What was Tannehill?
I don't know. He's uptight.
Come on, man. You hating on that man. One is Louis Vuitton, so you like, oh, man, yeah, I don't even care what it looks like. If it doesn't match, I don't care. It's LV. The other one is like some fire, just regular, no brand. And he's just like, nah, bro, I'm good on that.
I mean, dude, I don't really care about Jimmy G. I'm just saying, he's cool, with Bradshaw joking with him about it. He's like, yeah, bro, I'm cool. I'm chill.
It's cool. He's probably chill because he's going to the Super Bowl.
He's got those West Coast vibes, the chill vibes. That's all.
Stop it, bro.
That's all.
Stop it. Jeez. But shout out though.
Yes.
So there was something that interesting that did happen during the game. Former Pitt Panther Darrelle Revis got to tweeting out about Richard Sherman and man coverage versus zone coverage, and he made it as if he wasn't taking a shot at him, but it really came off as like a low-key hate. Yep. So the debate basically was, is Richard Sherman considered a great corner when he doesn't follow their best receivers? Whereas Revis, obviously Revis Island, because he would follow their best receiver and line up wherever they would line up at. So I wanted to get your opinion on it, man. How do you feel in terms of, I'll go first if you want me to.
Yeah, I have no clue. I mean, come on. I know Richard Sherman's good. Darrelle Revis is good.
Like, I look at it like this, right? you can't knock either one, but I think something is like for the pure.
Does Revis have a point? I guess
yeah, absolutely. For the pure football people, man to man, that's how you decide if a person's a GOAT or not. We talk about Deion Sanders being the GOAT because he was man to man. He's gonna wherever their best player, he's lining up on them and locking them down, regardless if you line them on the right, the left, or in the slot. Whereas with Sherman's still an elite corner, but when you're playing on one side of the field and you're playing a ton of zone coverage, even though you're great, it's a different level of it because they're not asking you to do certain things. You don't have that challenge of, I got to take away their best option. I mean, there's times he's lined up versus some trash receivers, some trash guys, and you're just like, bro, I don't want to see that. I want to see you line up on the other side with a dope dude. Like, that's why Stephon Gilmore was getting so much love this year because you see him lining up against all the top receivers and holding his own, balling out.
That can't be Sherman's fault, though, is it?
Bro, let's be real about this.
I'm just asking.
All I'm saying is this, because they tried to make that excuse before.
Well, I think he brought it up. Or I don't know. It might have been people in the comments.
People in the comments brought it up like, oh, no, it's the DC. Nah, it's a whole new defense. This ain't Seattle. It's a different defense. But all I'm saying is this. If you want,
that's what I mean. Like, even though it is different teams, but what if that's the schemes for both where they're we want you to be doing this?
This is the thing. There has been a couple of times in his career where he has been allowed to shadow guys, but that was based off of him requesting to do it. He knows his strengths and his weaknesses. So that's why for me, I'm like, I don't want to hear that excuse. And any baller will tell you, if you are that good and you want to do something, your coach adjusts to you. You don't think
the coach would be open.
Listen. You don't think that the Patriots adjusted their scheme for Reeves? You don't think the Buccaneers adjusted their scheme for Reeves? You don't think the Jets? I know for a fact they did because I had the same DC. I talked to them and they said, no, man, we changed everything up because we knew we had a corner that wherever we put him at, he was going to lock that guy down. So we would essentially play like a boxing one equivalent.
And they're saying
on defense.
Way more helpful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's the thing. If you're playing a zone defense, right? And say you're an elite corner, you're the best of the best. You only line up on the right side of the field, though. As an offense, all you're going to do is say, okay, well, let me put my two best receivers on the opposite side, put my weak guy over here to just occupy your time, and I'm going to dog the guys on the other side of the field. Whereas when you have that guy who's going to travel, now you don't have that luxury. Now you're legit like, dang, no matter where I put these guys at, my best receiver, my dog, I can't go to him today. I don't have that. I got to hope he wins. It's a difference. That's all I'm saying, man.
I see.
Yeah.
Who else is in that category?
Well, in terms of shadowing guys?
Yeah.
Currently playing or just all time?
You can do both if there's a few names that come to mind.
Well, I mean, all the time I always think Deion Sanders. I think Darrelle Revis. The reason I know people are like, well, what about Mel Blount? The reason I don't really go to like the 70s and 80s is simply because of this. The rules were so different when they were playing in terms of how handsy they could be. We talk about how now you can't even breathe on these receivers. You got to just move your feet and run with them and always have your eye on the ball. So it's different in that regard. But right now, you think of Stephon Gilmore. He's like obviously the main guy that does it. Jalen Ramsey is another one. And I feel like it's elite. I mean, to do that, Tre'Davious White does it. But other than those three off the top of my head, you don't really see a lot of guys that are traveling wherever that number one guy is because that's a dogfight, man. That's tough. And you can play 40 snaps good. You play too bad. And we talking about, oh, that guy's trash. I mean, he locked him down for 40 snaps, but he had two bad ones. And you come in here, I'll come in here and be like, yeah, that didn't end so well for him.
No, 100%. Yeah. What's interesting about Sanders and Revis is their careers where people have talked about them being mercenaries.
I love it.
It's cool because it's like with the Patriots and Bucs, at least, you know you're bringing him in just for that. And
they're switching up their defense just for that. Like, oh, we got a corner who could lock him down? Perfect. All right. So, yeah, we're going to zone everything else up and you play man. You know how much that helps a defense? Like to say, hey, you're going to man their best guy. We don't have to worry about him and everybody else is in zone around him. Bro, that's clutch. That's clutch. A lot of people can't do that.
Yeah, and them.
But that's why they get paid like that, though.
Maximizing their money, absolutely.
And that's why Reeves was what the all-time highest paid defender. Like yeah.
Yeah, he fooled the Jets after that Patriots year to get another big contract.
Hey man, it happens. You play long enough, it happens.
No. Yeah. No, good for him.
Absolutely, he earned it, man. That's how I look at it.
But anything else on this game?
No, I was good.
Or anything else with the Sherman Revis thing?
I was good with it. Like I said, both of them are elite, though.
Yeah,
but
I'm glad you break that down.
If I got to choose, I'm going to go Revis over Sherman. Just because I want the man-to-man element.
Yeah, I mean, I think both Hall of Famers, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I would say.
So, all right. Well, anything else around the league? We missing
Well, actually,
anything?
we got to give 2 shout-outs, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, first up to Joe Haden. We didn't get a chance to talk about it last time, but he got named to the Pro Bowl. This is his 3rd Pro Bowl now in his career, so that's big for him. First one as a Pittsburgh Steeler, so I definitely want to give him a shout out, man. We talk about how good he's been since he's came to Pittsburgh. It's crazy that Joe being the corner that he is, and it's only his 3rd Pro Bowl. It really lets you know, like, even though it's a popularity contest, like, you still have to be balling to really get to that level.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I was just watching some old tape. It was the Arizona game, our YouTube, the Arthur Moat show, and that dude predicted
you're
the
right.
Joe Haden pick, and he was like, "Dude's the best corner in the league. You want to make some money? Put it
money
down."
on Joe here.
He had 2 picks that game.
Absolutely.
And that was just a cool moment. And I'm glad you brought Joe Haden up.
Absolutely. So I had to bring him up. And then also Devin Bush, he got named to the pro football writers, like the people who write for like the NFL and all that stuff. Yeah, he got named to their all rookie team. So I was like, yeah, man, that was dope for him. Good to see the young 5'5", man, continuing to rack in the accolades, man, and keep balling out.
Deontay didn't get in that, huh?
Nah, I ain't seen him up with Deontay yet.
There was some good rookie. There was some good rookie receivers this year. Unless they did like punt return and like special
that's
teams
what I was gonna check
him.
for. Yeah, see if they had that up there. Nah. Nope, he was the only one. Well, actually, hold on. Here we go. Yep. So Minka got on. Oh, so it's 2 different lists though. So the one that Devin was on was different. The one that everybody else got on was the Pro Football Writers of America All NFL team. That's where you got Minka, Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, and then they included Deontay as a punt returner for the All AFC team.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
what's this? A spoof off the All Pro or something?
Well, because each one has, so like AP does the All Pro.
Yeah.
Then you have sports,
league,
right? But then you have like Sport and News, they do one as well. Then you have like the NFL who do like their awards, like they're all major, but it's just each one comes out differently. You know what I mean?
I got you.
So like
this one's AFC though, instead of like all pro is like the league. It's
All
NFL.
Pro is the league. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But remember, the All Pro is the AP All Pro. Mm-hmm. This right here was just through the writers, and they were determining, okay, all NFL team where the guys I was telling you in terms of Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, and Minka. Then they also had an All AFC team, and that's where Deontay got on as a returner. Yeah,
I'm good with that.
Yeah, man. So they, like I said, they got a ton of different, like, highly viewed accolades, highly regarded accolades. And yeah, because for a while when the Sport News released that Stephon Gilmore was their Defensive Player of the Year, everybody went crazy. Like, what? He got it over T.J. Watt. And then it's like, well, who was number 2? Oh, Aaron Donald was second place on that list. It's just a different list.
Yeah, because the real awards are coming up soon, right?
Right, but we say real awards. All of them are real. It's just the NFL honors the one that the NFL hypes up the most because it's their baby.
Yeah, so I would say that's the real one, right?
But you said AP All Pro is bigger.
Well, NFL doesn't do All Pro, right?
I'm saying this, man. Each person has their own thing, bro. NFL does Pro Bowl and they have NFL honors.
I know, but
AP does does All Pros.
That's what I mean. All I know, the 3 that I know is the Pro Bowl, the All Pro, and then the awards, the Rookie of the Year, the Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, and those are NFL. That's the
2 of those are NFL. One's AP.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
Associated Press is just like this.
The awards and Pro Bowl are NFL, and then AP.
Right.
That's what I know.
Yeah, because AP is just like, it's another paper. Associated Press. You got Sport News, and you got the Pro Football Writers. Those like the big 3
These
ones.
guys are on the come up. Then they're
No, they're not. They in fact, somebody has been around longer than AP.
Yeah, well, they need to do a better job of getting that out there. Because why don't I know about them?
I don't know, man. Jeez.
I know, like I said, I know those 3, and that's it.
Yeah, because you think the same Pro Football Writers that we're talking about, a lot of these guys are the guys who vote for the Hall of Fame. So it's like, they're legit. That's what I'm saying, man.
They're legit, but I'm just telling you, they got to work on their marketing to get their awards up. That's all.
Throw a commercial out there for them or something.
They got to do something.
I mean, they had a big release for Sport News.
Because these are second-tier awards right now.
Hey,
in
man.
my opinion. I haven't heard about it. I just heard about them now. But I appreciate you bringing them to my attention.
Hey, that's what we do. Teamwork. I got you. The same way I didn't want to go back on that. It's like, who is that guy? Did he play with the Steelers?
Who?
Talking about the scout.
Oh, yeah. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. I got your back, man. We good.
I just know certain things.
Yeah,
I'm in a bubble, man.
It's all good, man. We don't know what we don't know until we are figured out that we don't know it. All right.
Exactly.
So I got your back, man.
Thanks.
Teamwork.
Appreciate it.
Hey, man, you educate me on QVR. Yeah. QVR.
I do.
And Ben being the greatest of all time.
There are certain things I bring up. Yes.
Yeah. Like Ben, the greatest ever. ever. Like ever. I got you, bro. I'm with you.
Dude, come on.
I'm with you, man. I ain't tripping. I'm not tripping, baby. It's all good.
Well, is that it?
Yeah, man.
That's fun.
Oh, I actually did have one more question for you, too.
Whoa.
With Joe Haden
I
getting
keep trying to end this thing, huh?
I know, man. I'm tripping. We got a little bit of time.
Oh, you're good.
With Joe Haden being named to the Pro Bowl, right? Steven Nelson did not get named, even as an alternate. How'd you feel about that?
Oh, man, it was disappointing. I mean, the other dudes that got in, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it was Peters, and it was the other dude with Baltimore, and Tre'Davious White, Stephon Gilmore. It was just those four?
Yeah, because the reason why Joe got in was because Marcus Peters sat out.
Okay. Now, those dudes have balled out. That's the tough part because
and people made the argument too with Peters being in the NFC to start the season with the Rams and then coming over
because he got the All-Pro too. I feel like the All-Pro is more deserving because he was part of the NFL for that whole season as opposed to AFC versus NFC.
All right.
But I guess what are you going to do for the Pro Bowl then, right? You're not going to put him on NFC. The frustrating part is Nelson doesn't have those stats like they have in terms of interceptions. I think they have like fumble recoveries and touchdowns too that are, the splash plays. But the numbers are there for Nelson, and we've talked about it all season long that, man, our corners have been balling out, and Steven Nelson has been balling out. So that's the frustrating part. I see the numbers, and it's hard to make an argument to say, these guys should be getting out.
Well, the thing I looked at when I just focused on Joe versus Steven Nelson, it was times where we thought Steven was playing better than Joe. But the difference was this. Late in the year, Joe started coming up with the interceptions. We always talk about if you want to win any type of awards.
He dropped a couple early.
He did. But it's like if you want to win any awards, December is when you have to have your splash plays because that's when all the voters are remembering everything. It's so fresh for them. And that's what Joe was doing. I mean, he went on that span of getting a pick in 3 or 4 games. It was just okay, he's doing his thing. Yeah. And then he gets the cheapy garbage one versus the Ravens. Look on the stats, another pick.
Yep. So it is what it is. I don't know how that whole process is going to take place to where the buzz could start happening where Nelson's a lockdown corner. Yeah. I mean, I'm starting to see stuff. I'm starting to see graphics where they're comparing him to Gilmore in terms of snaps and what the receivers are doing against them. But because the one guy that's coming to mind right now who didn't get picks like that, he wasn't really thrown to. Receivers didn't do much against him was Asamoah out with the Raiders. So I don't know how that whole process is going to take place in terms of people respecting him like that. And I don't know if it's going to be I don't know if Asamoah really had another cornerback out there like that.
I forgot with Asamoah, I forgot what the knock with him was. I want to say...
But dude, he was a Pro Bowler for 3-4 seasons.
No. But it was the scheme. I forgot because I'm drawing a blank. For him, I want to say he was a man corner out there. Then gets to Philly and they make him a cover 3.
Well, Philly was a disgrace. Yeah,
but when he had to switch the schemes, he couldn't work like that.
Yeah,
and that's why a lot of people make the same argument about Sherman because it's in your scheme that cover 3, you're a dog. This is what you do. But if we had to make you play that, you can't do that.
Got you. I always did wonder, because that was the
that
dream
was what
team.
It was. Yeah,
the Eagles.
That's what it was, though.
Getting him and okay, but I don't know what.
Austin was he was super handy. Let me get you early. Use his length. Remember, he was a long, tall corner.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, but then they brought him to Philly and they started running the cover 3. They had the wide 9s with Trent Cole and I think it was Jason Babineau as their pass rushers, and they could get after it. But the thing is, when you're running wide 9s, you can't stop the run. Yeah, because it's bad for your business. Yeah.
So I don't know what it's going to take. Hopefully he gets more recognition next year. Hopefully he still plays like he's been playing next year too.
True. I mean, we talk about Tannehill.
Because I don't know if it's because we do have Haden that takes away the shine from Nelson. Yeah. But I mean, you've had in the past Revis and Cromartie both getting their due with the Jets. So I don't know. I don't. Well, in terms of having a problem with it, I can't really make a really strong argument for it. I know how good he's been playing.
Absolutely.
So I think that's all we need, right? Is to know deep down.
Well, I think too, the thing that helps Steven is this. Usually the first year you ball out, you get a little buzz, but you don't get the award conversation, right? Then after you do it again, now people are like, oh, I take notice. Now I know you. Like, same with Gilmore in New England. He was balling out last year. He still wasn't in a Defense Player of the Year category because it was his first time really doing it on that level. Then when you see him, okay, now he's doing it again on that level. TJ Watt, another one. He balled out last year. We all knew that. But it still wasn't, oh, okay, well, all right, is this for real or not? Then he did it this year. You're like, oh, no, like, we're aware of him now. Like, yeah, he can do that. And I think that's what we're going to see with Steven. If he can come back and play just like how he's playing right now, he'll get it there.
Cool. That works for me, dude.
So, yeah, man. Other than that, you good, bro?
I'm good.
You sure you good?
I'm good, man.
You sure?
I didn't know you had these secret topics lined up.
No, they weren't secret topics. I just wanted to shout out my Steelers, man, when I get a chance to, man. That's it.
No, but I always like it. Whenever you bring up another thing to talk about, I'm always like, all right, I'll have a take on it if you need it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. See, that's why I like it. But anywho, man, appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, bro. Until next time.
Peace.